Just his fourth year, but these Nuggets have all been together for the most part. Now he goes, and oh my goodness, what a basket! Jamal, because we got to see this.
Murray is attacking. Look at him go up. No, I'm not going to dunk. Not going to use with my left, but the English off the glass. When Murray is attacking off of the pick and roll, this team is dangerous. We know about Joker and his passing ability, but Murray loosens up the defense for everyone else, and he's a great finisher. And by the way, he can find an open man on that penetration, too.
Do you know how to
play?
All right, guys, that was Jamal Murray with an acrobatic finish, very MJ-esque, very awesome. And I am Ryan. This is Sports Life. Welcome to it. So, Game 4 last night did not go the Nuggets' way in a lot of ways. But yet, here they are in another 3-1 journey. They've been here twice already before in this playoff run. I think the Nuggets honestly have the Lakers right where they need to be, right where they want them. Now, the Nuggets are going to have some help from the refs because every single call was going the Lakers' way. Every non-call went the Lakers' way. There was a lot of things that really shouldn't have happened in that game last night that led the Lakers to win. And it wasn't on the Nuggets. Now, do I think the Nuggets are fine? Yes, absolutely. I think they can come back. I think they are just fine. They've been in this situation already. I know they've got to be getting tired. This will be their 7th game fighting elimination where it's tough. It's really tough when you're down this deficit every single series. But they are finding ways. I still believe in them. I still believe they will win. I think that LeBron can't win without refs, and I really don't think LeBron can win without any actual superstar. Last week, Giannis won the MVP, and LeBron said he was mad because he didn't get it and he got second. Okay, LeBron's not even the best player on his team. Anthony Davis is the best player on his team, and LeBron should know that. LeBron is just there because his name, basically. He is not that great anymore, guys. And yeah, he can still drop 30 points, but most of his shots are now layups or just garbage threes. It's not, the dominant force that he used to be. Age is definitely catching up with him. But he's in a good position. All they got to do is win the next game, and they're going to the finals. I'm still taking the Nuggets in the series. I truly believe that Denver is the better team. I think they're more fun to watch. And quite frankly, if you are a LeBron fan, it's your problem because that guy cries over everything. Now, on the other side, on the East, you do have the Heat, and they are up 3-1 on the Celtics. I think that they are the best team left of the 4 teams. I think they are just straight business. I think Jimmy Butler's got that team on the rise. Tyler Herro dropped 37 the other day in Game 4. Those guys are really fun to watch and really hard to stop. And they just come at you and play smash mouth basketball. And by what I mean by smash mouth basketball is they're in your face, they're playing defense, they're playing hard. You're going to have to outmaneuver and outskill them. And Boston does not have the skill to keep up with the Miami Heat. And as far as the MVP conversation, I think that Butler should have honestly been more of a contender than what he was. I think he should be higher than LeBron any day. He has brought more to that team than LeBron did to the Lakers this year. And quite frankly, I already said it, Anthony Davis brought more than what LeBron did. So LeBron can cry all he wants about not getting the MVP. He did not deserve it. Now, talking about the Celtics, they have been right there knocking on the doorstep for like 4 or 5 years now. They are a really solid team. Brad Stevens has a really good group together. But they just run into issues every year. And it's not even their team fault. It's just they run into, like, this Heat team. This Heat team, who would have thought it was just this good? And they got hot at the right moment. They came to play at the right moment. And they are just that good. And it just seems like the Celtics every single year always have that issue. I think maybe a couple years they can get over it. But I don't know how long they can keep that squad together. But hopefully soon the Celtics kind of get another chance. Now, I'm not saying they are out of that series yet. They do have, they are only down 3-1. But I think the Heat are the better team. I think the Heat will take it next game, honestly. Now, we are approaching the off season for a lot of teams. And, we're down to the final 4 teams in the playoffs. Most likely about to be 2 pretty quick like. We're going to have a short off season. Now they're talking about starting this new season back in January as opposed to December where they were, but that's a really, 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 really short off season, and there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to be ready for it, especially the teams that were in the playoffs. They're going to be tired. They didn't get to spend a lot of time with their families. It's going to be a little bit brutal for the short offseason that's coming up. So teams that are still in there, you better enjoy it while you can because you're going to come straight back to work and it's going to be go, go, go. You might burn yourself out. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they stay, together. All the teams are ready. Of course, you got the teams that didn't make the bubble that they're just itching to play ball again. But everybody else, it's going to be a very short, very, very short offseason. So get ready to start playing some ball again. All right, so we got some coaching hire that was kind of a little bit shocking. The Bulls hired Billy Donovan, and Donovan, yes, he's been with the Thunder for the last 5 years. They've had a above 500 record every single year. They've made the playoffs 4 out of the 5. They are first round exits every single time they've made the playoffs, besides the one against the Warriors and Kevin Durant leaving, and we all know how that one went. But it's just, is Billy Donovan a good hire for the Bulls? They are a young team. Zach LaVine is showing that he is a superstar. He's going to be great offensively no matter what. But Billy Donovan did something this year with a team that wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs. And yes, a lot of that had to do with Chris Paul. But he developed them. He developed the players. He developed a young squad and let them learn the game of basketball through the professional aspect. And I think he did a really good job of that. I think that's a great hire for the Bulls. Now, a couple years from now, I don't think Billy Donovan will be there, but he will be good enough to get them at least developed and in the door. They might even be a playoff team next year because the East still is not that great. So, you got Markman, who's not bad. Obviously, LaVine, who can drop 50 at any point. So, it's a good hire. I really do believe that. Okay, well, I'm going to get off of the basketball talk. That's really all I've got for it right now. Obviously, we got the 2 teams fighting for the finals. But really, truly, I got to break down football this week. There is so much that happened. We got college that we got going on. It's going to be crazy games. The SEC is joining the party this week. We've got, Army versus Cincy, which is, by the way, my upset pick. I'm going to take the Army Black Knights over the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati is a 14-point favorite, and it is in Cincy, but, with limited fans, that's not a factor. Army is just so tough, and neither team has faced each other when ranked. It's the first time that's happened. I love watching the academies, If you've heard me talk before, I absolutely love watching the option. I love watching them play. They can't get any bigger than what they are because they have to maintain their size. So go Army. That is my upset pick. That is a top 25 matchup. Number 14 versus number 22. Should be pretty high scoring, and Army's not really known for high scoring games because of the option. But I think Cincinnati doesn't have that great of a defense either. But they do have a good offense, so should be pretty high scoring. Should be a pretty good game. So Baylor actually finally getting to play this week. They are getting to go up against Kansas, which Baylor should roll over Kansas. Kansas is horrible. But the fact of the matter is they actually get to play. So that is, with all the COVID issues they've had, they missed the Houston game. And it's good for Baylor to finally get on the board. It's good for the Big 12. The Big 12 needs another team that's decent. So I did mention the SEC starting up. Florida gets to go to Ole Miss, and that has potential for a good game. It's the opening game for the SEC. Florida's coming in at number 5 in the country. They're due for probably a good season. They haven't, made a good run for a while. It's been Georgia and Alabama basically running that, and then LSU last year, obviously. So, something that they're going to have to watch out for is quarterback play. If their quarterback play comes in, they're great. They'll have a good season because their defense is still really good. They're still pretty young. Their secondaries, they're, I think, juniors from what I saw earlier. So they've got some experience behind them. So Florida's going to be good. Now, speaking of Florida, we're going to stick in that state. We're going to go to Florida State at Miami. Both teams ranked. I think that Florida State will expose Derek King, who actually made it up to the Heisman talk. He is not a Heisman candidate. He is not that good, guys. And Florida State will expose him for that purpose. He overthrows his receivers. Yes, the dude can run the ball, and that's about all he can do. So, the Seminoles, I think, are going to run all over the Hurricanes. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I really don't. Now, another matchup that is actually kind of, it's an in-state one for me. It's Oklahoma State. They are a 6.5-point favorite over West Virginia. And so I watched Oklahoma State almost lose to Tulsa last week. They are not very good. Their offensive line is very, very, very bad. But they had a freshman quarterback come in and step up in Ellingsworth. He came in and got them come back, and they got the W. So West Virginia, on the other hand, they played 2 weeks ago, and they took care of business like they should have against the Cupcake team. I think that spread is too high, and I actually think Oklahoma State should be on upset alert this week. Unless that offensive line got, something. They couldn't even get a push up front. I mean, Chuba Hubbard was getting smothered immediately. Oklahoma State is in trouble. Now, on the opposite end of that, we have Oklahoma and Kansas State. That should be a blowout for the Sooners. Spencer Rattler should be full display of his arsenal. Should be dropping 50-yard bombs everywhere. Kansas State's not that good. They were also a team that's been plagued by COVID. So that should be interesting. All right. So I'm going to jump into the NFL because that's where I've got a lot to talk about. You had the Cowboys and the Falcons, which did not disappoint. It was a great game. I mean, I can't believe the Falcons choked a 20-point lead. The Cowboys ended up winning 40-39. A lot thanks to this play right here.
Timeouts. Zerline looks quick. It's got to go 10 yards, and it's close. Zerline may have come through. Who's got it? The Cowboys have it. Do you believe that?
You don't have to wait for it to go 10 yards. You can attack it right there. Somebody could have came in and got it. You're just watching it go. Olamide Zaccheaus could have just covered the ball up. And now you've got all the Dallas players. They're right at 10 yards. As soon as that crosses that white line, look at them all standing there. They're just waiting for it to become a live ball.
That is unbelievable. 1:43 to go. No time.
All right, so yes, that onside is what led the Cowboys to the game-winning drive, where Zerline ended up kicking the field goal for the win. If I'm the Falcons, I don't even understand what you're doing there. Fall on the football. There is no reason you do not. You you don't have to let it go 10 yards. Yeah, there's a chance it doesn't, and you get the penalty, and you get better starting field position. Fall on the football. That's all you had to do, and you win the game. But as we know, it is the Falcons. They are no stranger to losing 20-point leads, and no stranger to losing big games like that. Now, I do think that the Cowboys are going to have a great game this week. It's going to be high scoring. They get to go against Seattle and Russell Wilson. Which, by the way, that Seattle New England game was amazing. Now, I think that New England rushes Cam Newton way too much. But that wasn't the reason they lost, or was it? Let's watch this play and find out. Okay, I get that you can run the ball with Cam. I do. But you got a chance to go to Seattle, and yes, I know there's not fans, but going to Seattle, it doesn't happen winning. You had a chance to beat the Seahawks, and you did that play. But it's funny because the last 3 matchups that the Seahawks and the Patriots have played, one being the Super Bowl, where Seattle made a terrible mistake. They shouldn't have passed the ball. They should have ran the ball this time. In the Super Bowl, cost them that. But the last 3 times, they've all come down to the final play. So, I mean, there's kind of a little bit of, I would say, of a rivalry in those. They are always good games. Obviously, Cam Newton is for real. Like I said, Russell Wilson is, yeah, that dude is out of another level right now. He's joining the Patrick Mahomes, maybe the Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jacksons right now. He is scoring at will. New England should have had that game. All you had to do is run the right play, but I think they're running Cam Newton way too much. I think that they're going to end up getting him hurt, and that's what they need to avoid. I'm shocked. Cam Newton's come back from that shoulder injury, from that foot injury. He's playing really good football, but you got to stop running him so much. He's not built for that anymore. But I'm going to take on the Seahawks and the Cowboys. Like I said, high-scoring game. Seattle's favored by 5. I think that, honestly, I think Seattle wins that. But it's going to be 42 to 37, 38, something like that. It's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. There's no defense and no secondary, no D-line. It's just going to be who can throw the ball the most, basically. Now, obviously, last week, the Bills took care of the Dolphins, 31-28. Okay, and the Dolphins are actually playing fairly good ball. Their record, obviously, they played the Jags last night. They won 31-13, but their record is actually not showing how good they're playing. They're 1-2 right now, but they're hanging in these games. You know, they are not, just getting blown out like you'd think they were. So there's a chance the Dolphins could actually throw some challenges towards the Bills and the Patriots in that division. I don't think they will. I think they'll probably end up being like an 8-18, something like that, 7-9. But there's always something you could watch out for. Now, that Bills team, oh boy, Josh Allen. He's threw for 445 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. He is a guy who's really, really improved his accuracy in throwing the ball and getting the ball downfield. That Bills team, they're really fun to watch too. Yeah, he's got Stephon Diggs. He's got John Brown. He's got a lot of targets to get to. They get to go up against the Rams. And the Rams are undefeated. They're looking like the team that went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They're playing good offense. They're playing good defense. That's a good game to watch. The Bills are favored by 2, I believe. And I'd stick with that. I wouldn't put it much more than 2. That line's probably pretty close. So I think the Bills win, but it is going to be a good game and a lot of fun. Now, we were talking about the Patriots. Now, on the other side there, they're getting to play the Raiders, who are 2-0, which, by the way, they have one of the most awesome stadiums I've ever seen, called the Death Star. It is a gorgeous stadium. Actually, I would love to go see it in person one day. I want to see if the Raiders can outscore the Patriots. It's going to be probably a high-scoring game, too. I want to see if, the Raiders can hang around in that division. Obviously, the Chiefs and the Chargers are going to kind of run away a little bit, but maybe Las Vegas can stay there. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe Gruden has been onto something this whole time. But we get to see real quick, though. Their first real test, is against the Patriots. Another game. So, like I said, I'm going to stick on the NFL for quite a while. There's a lot going on. Kyler Murray, okay? That dude is also playing at another elite level beyond his years. They literally ran over Washington 30-15 last week. He is throwing the ball really well. He's running the ball really well. And I'm honestly shocked to see how well he is doing. But the fun thing is he gets to go up against Baker Mayfield this week, so I actually expect a lot of offense. I bet you the Browns actually kind of get going a little bit. It's going to be a good game. I think the over-under was like 54. I'm going to take the over on it. I don't think the Cardinals really have that great a defense, but it is a Cliff Kingsbury team, and they have a lot of offense. So, we've also got a team that's kind of in desperation mode because they're trailing already 2 games in their division, possibly 3 after this week. It's Houston. The Houston Texans have a chance to be 0-3 because they're going up against a pretty solid Steelers team. And I think if they lose this week, I think that they really need to find Deshaun Watson a receiver. Someone who will go up and catch the ball. Because without DeAndre Hopkins, he does not have that go-to guy, and it shows really well. Now, their defense, you'd think J.J. Watt would actually make a difference, but he's not. Their defense is really weak this year. Houston's got a lot of questions going on, and it's early in the season, but I feel like it's a must-win kind of season, or this game. If they go down 0-3 and the Titans start 3-0, they are not coming back and winning that division. So, we have 2 more games I got to talk about. One of them being the Packers at the Saints. You got Aaron Rodgers, who was balling out 443 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, and Drew Brees, who did struggle against the Raiders, but still didn't have a terrible game. I think there's going to be a lot of offense. I think the Pack has the best or better of the offenses. I think they get the W. Now, I do believe that Drew Brees will have a bounce-back game, and they'll actually look pretty good. But here's the thing. When you don't have a defense, it's fun to watch, but it's going to make for a long season. That's what the Packers are. They don't have a defense, but they've got Aaron Rodgers. And so far, they're finding ways to win. All right. Here's a stat for you. We're about to see the game of possibly the decade, maybe the century come Monday night. The stat I'm going to tell you is Lamar Jackson throwing 77% completed passes, and he's not a passing quarterback. So, with that being said, Chiefs are coming into town. You get to watch Kansas City and Baltimore go head to head. Honestly, that should be a Super Bowl matchup, even though it can't be because both teams are in the AFC. Those two teams are the best teams in football, and it's going to be fun to watch. There's going to be so much offense. Patrick Mahomes is going to get it in the field. Patrick Mahomes had to find a way to win last week against the Chargers. A good Chargers defense, right? Now he's got to go up against the Ravens. Ravens are dropping 38 points a game. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I want to see this game. You got Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. You've got Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown. You've got Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. I mean, the matchups go on for days. You got Butker versus Tucker. I mean, you could even go with the kickers. And there's still an awesome matchup somehow, some way. This game is going to be awesome. I really look forward to watching it. I think it's going to be almost maybe even better than the Rams 49ers game was a couple years ago. It is going to be a lot of fun. So, I'm getting closer to the end here, guys. But I did see something that kind of interested me a little bit. Conor McGregor, who I feel like should just stay retired, is about to sign a contract with Manny Pacquiao for a boxing match. It didn't go so well for him against Mayweather, so I guess he's going to try his luck against Pac-Man. Pac-Man, to me, was one of the most fun boxers I got to watch growing up. And why McGregor thinks he's got to try to take on these legends, I don't know. But here he is, and I just hope Pac-Man goes out there and beats him around just quite a bit and just makes it quick. I know it's an exhibition, but still. It's time for McGregor to kind of fade away. But could be a fun fight. I mean, I'd definitely watch it, so. But I don't see the point to it. I don't. Of course, we got hockey going on right now. The Stanley Cup's going on. Tampa Bay is over Dallas 2-1 right now. They won Game 3 5-2, and they looked a lot faster. They were moving on the ice a lot better. Dallas, I think, got injury plagued a little bit, and I think Tampa Bay is going to take the series. I think they're a better team. So you got that. Baseball playoffs are right around the corner. I still think the Padres are the scariest team. I think they're the team to watch out for, because if they get hot at the right moment, you're going to lose, because they can, offensively, they can get hot in a hurry. Their pitching's decent. So watch out for the Padres. You got teams that are clinching playoffs. Obviously, the first two teams make it, and then 2 wild cards make it. So it's kind of interesting. That's probably something that's kind of cool for baseball. Get more teams in the playoffs this year. So there is still a lot I could talk about, guys. But I just rather watch the games. I think this week's going to be a lot of fun. Football's going to be a blast. There's a lot of good football going on. And, I'm ready to watch them. So, this is going to be me signing off. This is Ryan. This is Sports Life. Be sure to check out Rita at Beautiful Eats. That's Beautiful Space Eats with a Z at the end. And then I'll be back next week, guys. Thanks for listening. You have a great day.